For every beloved Brooklyn Nine-Nine character, there's also one who's hated by almost everyone, starting with one of Brooklyn Nine-Nine's most controversial characters, Gina Linetti, who is, how do we put this nicely, a little more controversial, because amongst fans, the self-obsessed office assistant is one of the most polarizing characters. Some viewers love Gina Linetti, while others despise her. But why? Well, in Season 1, Episode 3, she's actually helpful, yet in the most Gina way possible. When Amy and Rosa are trying to run the junior police program for at-risk teens, they can't get anyone to sign up. That is, until Gina Linetti walks in, tells the young teens that cops get paid well, gets to carry guns, and can ignore red lights. Then boom, she gets 8 teens to sign up. This is one of those moments fans actually love, since Gina is not just the usual annoying and careless. But what happens just a few episodes later changed the way people think of her. Cause in Season 1, Episode 5, she tells Terry, "Wrap your thick, muscular arms around me," which not only made him uncomfortable, but the fact that Gina knows Terry is married made fans and myself hate her, along with comments like, "I don't like how she harasses Terry, and if he was my husband, I would hate her so much." Combine this with the fact that some Brooklyn Nine-Nine lovers feel like her character is too repetitive, just repeating the same jokes in every episode, saying that she has basically the same types of jokes that she cycles through over and over. And speaking of Terry, this list wouldn't be complete without including the squad's dad. The dad that can also bench press your car. Sergeant Terry Jeffords is a massive fan favorite because he looks like the toughest guy in the room, but Terry is actually the most caring, loving dude alive who loves yogurt, working out, and his family, all with the same intensity. Terry loves yogurt, Terry loves love, Terry loves responsible parenting. I can't stop laughing when he goes on a third-person rampage. He's a loyal friend and a proud father of 3, and the sergeant is always trying to do the right thing. That mix is exactly why fans and myself find him both hilarious and weirdly wholesome, resulting in Jeffords usually sitting atop fan rankings. People also love that Terry can be strong and openly emotional without it feeling like a joke. One Reddit user called him just a good guy, like a giant Labrador retriever. However, Terry Jeffords' wholesomeness isn't the only reason he's so beloved, because in Season 4, Episode 16, while just walking around his neighborhood looking for Mumu, the sergeant meets a racist cop, and how he handled it is exactly why Terry is beloved, cause he'll have you laughing one minute and feeling proud the next. While Terry is known as being a very smart sergeant, his temporary boss in Season 4, well, he's not exactly the brightest. Captain Jason C.J. Stintley feels like the writers created him just to annoy the other characters, and wow, did they do an amazing job. He shows up as the new captain while Holt is away, and fans get tired of him fast. A common theme in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I'll get into that later. Because CJ is the opposite of Raymond Holt. He is needy, scared, and desperate to be liked, while also being horrible at his job. For example, in Season 4, Episode 2, Captain Stintley not only lets Gina get her own personal assistant, but he gives Terry a fridge just for yogurt, and it's this people-pleasing which made fans, including myself, hate Stintley. Couple this with viewers saying that his whining and clueless act stopped being funny, and journalists echoing these opinions. It honestly started to become hard for most fans to even enjoy the show with CJ in it. But that is not all. Fans also hate what he does to the squad. When Stintley's in charge, people feel the team has to act dumb just so they can make him look even more stupid. A fan on Reddit even said that there was literally nothing good about his character. He was a cliche dumb person. He was beyond dumb in his episodes. There was no genuine reason why he got to captain either. His decisions don't exactly help either. In Season 4, Episode 13, he buys a $20,000 Japanese copier nobody can use right when the precinct is being evaluated. So when fans talk about the worst side characters, CJ's name pops up a lot, usually next to words like annoying, unqualified, and made every episode worse. However, while CJ is known as sloppy, this next character is the complete opposite. Amy Santiago starts out as the squad's overachiever, the human form of a to-do list and a raised hand. At first, fans view her as the teacher's pet that nobody wants to partner with. You know the type I'm talking about. Yet, over time, she became one of the most beloved characters. But why is that? Firstly, Amy loves binders, lives for order, and is a willing servant for Captain Holt. We already see an example of that in Season 1, Episode 1, where Santiago, even before meeting the captain, is hoping to get mentored by him to help her become captain herself one day. Santiago even tells Jake how much she loves the captain immediately after meeting him. However, the detective is not all work and no fun. She's also kind, smart, and only grows with each season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This is displayed perfectly in Season 6, Episode 8, where Amy helps lead a brutally sensitive SA case and refuses to back down from justice. Online people have expressed how much they can relate to her in this case, which makes her even more likable. Yet, many viewers also relate to the stress, the habits, and the spiraling. One fan put it perfectly: "She's all my insecurities and quirks dialed to 11. Yep. Exactly. I mean, for me personally, Amy Santiago is a character that started out without me knowing whether I liked her or not, but I must say that detective only got better and better, because as the show progresses, it also proves Amy's got the best of both worlds. Santiago goes over the top every year during the Halloween heist, getting ridiculously competitive. However, in the end, Amy still cares deeply about her friends, perhaps even too deeply, like her love story with Jake, but more on him later. Speaking about Jake, this next person is supposed to be his biggest competitor, but ended up being the most boring man alive instead. Cause Teddy is Amy Santiago's ex, and fans bring him up non-stop when talking about their least favorite characters. One Reddit thread says it plainly: "Mine is Teddy, because he is the most boring man alive and is trying to split Jake and Amy apart." But why do fans really think this? Firstly, he's painfully boring. The show even jokes about it. In Season 4, Episode 13, Jake Peralta and Amy Santiago call him the most boring person in America. And to be honest, it's hard for me to disagree here. Secondly, his Pilsner, along with settling down in the most dull way possible, is making it hard to say that Teddy actually tried. But that's far from the worst he's done. My guy will not let go. After the breakup, he keeps coming back, still in love with Santiago, proposing again and again even when she's clearly done. The Brooklyn Nine-Nine wiki notes he remained in love with Amy and kept trying to win her back, even after joining and later leading the bomb squad. We all know how that ended. Amongst critics, Teddy is known as one of the most hated supporting characters because he goes from harmless to clingy to, "Oh no, not this guy again." But as boring as Teddy is, the next person is equally as interesting and terrifying. Rosa Diaz is very intimidating, and fans, including myself, love her for it. She's a tough detective who rides a motorcycle, keeps her personal life private, and talks with a dry, calm tone. From the start, many viewers found her easy to like, and the more we learn about her, the more she grows on people. However, Diaz is also a loyal friend. Rosa shows up for the people she cares about, like her supporting Charles Boyle even after turning him down. This especially shows in Season 3, Episode 12, where Diaz helps Charles grieve his dog in the most Rosa way possible. But we've not even scratched the surface yet, because her more personal moments matter too. In Season 5, Episode 10, she comes out to the squad and her parents as bisexual, and we really see how hard it is when her family doesn't immediately accept her. The storyline hit a lot of viewers right in the feels, with a viewer even saying, "Rosa's coming out storyline was handled beautifully. It still makes me cry many rewatches later and deserves all the praise." That mix of tough, funny, and quietly caring is why many fans call her one of the coolest characters in the show, and in my opinion, her passive aggressiveness is what makes her one of my favorites. Now, imagine a captain so cruel that he goes out of his way to make the life of his detectives as miserable as possible. That man is Keith the Vulture Pembroke. He is the kind of character fans love to hate. The Vulture keeps showing up just to steal credit when the squad has almost solved a case, and he does it with a smug smile. In Season 1, Episode 5, Keith swoops in right before Jake solved a case and takes all the credit. Something that I'm sure has happened to all of us and is a huge reason why he's the most hated. But that's not even his worst traits. Firstly, the Vulture is loud, rude, and wildly full of himself, and the show leans into it hard. Secondly, Pembroke makes gross comments like telling Charles Boyle he looks sexy and talking about his love for his dead brother's wife. Thirdly, in Season 5, Episode 6, he's so petty, he even tries to steal Jake and Amy's wedding venue. Like, imagine being so terrible, you try to ruin a wedding out of spite. A lot of fans have something to say, nothing good though. One viewer wrote, "That guy just really gets under my skin." Another said, "I hate the Vulture because he is the embodiment of everything I hate. And that's why he works. The whole squad comes together to fight him, and the audience is right there with them, ready to boo the second he walks in." However, while Teddy didn't manage to win over Amy's heart, this next person surely did, because Jake Peralta is the goofy lead of the show, and he's also a great detective. He loves pranks, movies, and catching bad guys, and fans love him for his big heart and non-stop jokes. When viewers are questioned about their favorite characters, Jake is either number 1 or at the very least in the top 3 amongst some of the other cast members on our list, which we'll get to shortly. But why is he ranked so high? Because Jake's movie lines, catchphrases, and wild plans make him one of the funniest characters. However, what really wins people over is his change over time. In the pilot episode, the show introduces him as immature but very talented. His first encounter with Captain Holt even shows his lack of discipline when he's not even wearing a tie. But as time progresses, things change. Because over the course of Season 1 and 2, the great detective grows into a better person. A few seasons after the pilot, in Season 3, Episode 1, Jake finally commits to his relationship with Amy. And only a couple of seasons later, in Season 5, Episode 4, Jake Peralta proposes to Amy Santiago during the Halloween heist, in the most Jake way possible. His growth from an immature cop into a better friend, husband, and father is exactly why Jake is so easily liked, with fans saying that the entire show is his growth from child into man. It's also a huge reason why he's one of my personal favorites. But that's not all. He's also loyal. He shows up for Charles, and even for his on and off friend Doug Judy, the Pontiac Bandit himself. And beneath the jokes, he cares about justice and his team. Jake makes you laugh, then proves he'll come through when it matters. But while a lot of the hated characters on this list are often debated, this woman is undoubtedly number 1 for a lot of fans, myself included, because Madeline Wuntch is the deputy chief who seems to enjoy hurting the captain's career. Every time she shows up, Madeline brings stress with a smile. Firstly, in Season 2, Episode 3, she denies Holt over a typo. He simply put a semicolon where there should have been a full comma. That is the type of petty behavior that fans, including myself, found incredibly annoying. Secondly, she pretty much lives to make Holt miserable. In Season 2, Episode 5, Wuntch hires an internal affairs investigator to spy on the captain. Fans often say she's the worst, and a lot of people love watching Raymond Holt fire back with his best insults like, "Wuntch time is over."
Wuntch time is over. Boom, did it!
Some viewers, including myself, admit they love to hate her, and a few even enjoy the Holt versus Wuntch fight because it brings great comedy. But as a person in the story, Madeline is still a clear villain. The deputy chief messes with characters fans care about, and she does it on purpose. Now that we've gone over some of the worst captains to ever set foot in the precinct, let's move on to the greatest of all time. Captain Raymond Holt is often named the most loved character on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's the serious, calm captain with a flat voice and perfect timing, and fans can't get enough of it. Holt is often named the most loved character on the show because he's so serious, so calm, and so emotionally distant. His dry one-liners land every single time, like when he hits you with a casual vindication, and you can't stop laughing. At least I know I can't. His dynamic with Jake makes it 1,000 times funnier, but that's far from all there is to say about him. In fan rankings, Raymond Holt almost always ends up near the top. One ranker vote even put him at number 1 with over 1,100 votes, and honestly, that's where I would put him as well. Viewers also constantly praise how perfectly the actor delivers Holt's lines. The pauses, the stare, the tiny facial changes that count as a full emotional speech. Yet, the captain isn't just funny, because under the strict outside, he cares deeply about his squad and stands by them. He guides Jake and the others, and the show gives him real depth too, like his struggles as a gay black police captain. For example, in Season 4, Episode 16, where Terry encountered the racist cop we talked about earlier. Here, Holt ended up backing the sergeant even though it could cost him professionally. That mix of humor and strength is why so many fans see Holt as the show's MVP. Do you guys agree with this list? Let me know in the comment section who you hate and who you love the most.